there's an old saying. I think I'm getting the old saying right. 11th time's a charm. Maybe I'm paraphrasing, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. And this is episode 11, so I think we're finally hitting our stride here on Tales from the Treehouse. I'm Andrew Fantasia. I'm one of the hosts.
I'm Amanda Brown.
And we're talking Treehouse of Horror 11, the 11th episode of the Simpsons Halloween special, which means it's in season 12. My God, one day that math is going to work in my head without me needing to, pause. But until then, we do what we can. Amanda, how you doing today?
Good. It's a Sunday today. And it's funny to be still going through the Treehouse of Horror episodes because I was just putting up my Christmas tree.
Whoa. Yeah. Early start, don't you?
You know what? Closer to the Christmas, I feel like so much time is spent either at events or like going shopping. And I was just, let's just get it out of the way. As long as it's after Remembrance Day, I feel like it's safe. I never put it up before then.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. People do it right after Halloween or next level. Yeah, no.
No, thank you. My tree is in a storage container across town, so getting to it is a bit of a chore. So it has to be like planned out. I can't just drag it out of another room. So it's always like a day. It's like, okay, a day has to be put aside to go get the tree from another look. And it's in this giant bag that looks like I'm carrying a dead body.
Perfect.
You remember the hitchhiker from There's Something About Mary where he's holding it looks like that. So carrying it from the car into the house is always fun. Just watching people react as they pass by and see like, what the hell is that guy holding? So it's got to be planned out, hopefully under the cover of darkness so that I don't scare people. But it'll happen. Usually I wait till like the last minute. I like ending November with the tree so that I still get a solid month of joy in the house, but
yeah,
it's I get like a buffer period between Halloween and Christmas to just enjoy that holiday free zone. And it's more like a mourning period because I'm missing Halloween and I'm missing fall. So
see, I'm just lazy and like all my Halloween decorations, I was like, okay, I gotta put them away. I left them up until this week, maybe last week. I kind of collected it's just pumpkins really and like candles, some skulls. But yeah, I just kind of threw those in grocery bags, set them aside. I was like, okay, I'll give it a week, give it a break in between 2 weeks. No, I gotta go. It's just events. December is crazy for me, so I gotta get pitter patter, get at her.
I've never heard that before, but I like it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Full disclosure, don't hate me. I don't own any Halloween decorations.
Oh. You know what? I feel like a lot of my aesthetic is kind of Halloween, kind of subscribes to that sort of. So I have a lot of skulls and like maybe like I have a really big skull painting in my hallway and like it has flowers. Like it's kind of cool. It's not super morbid looking. But yeah, I like darker things and it's kind of my vibe. So everyone thinks I'm goth. I mean, sure, but I'm not. But maybe I am. I don't know.
Did you have a good season in high school? I don't remember.
No.
We all wore uniforms, so you couldn't tell from people's clothes.
Yeah, no, but I do wear black a lot. I spill, so I don't have a steady hand. So like that's one thing. I'm like, I don't want to look like I ever have dirty clothes, and I'm like, yeah. Anyway, it's my thing. I don't know, and it matches. I'm lazy, like you said. When you went to high school where we wore uniforms, that kind of I liked that. A lot of people didn't, but I really liked it. It kind of evened the playing fields for people, which is good, especially when you're a kid and you're in high school and, people can be mean. But yeah, no, I'm lazy. Again, I'm lazy. So that was my uniform. My adult uniform is just like jeans, black t-shirts, band t-shirts, and like work clothes. And it's usually black, gray, or white. When I wear color to work, people are like, Amanda, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah,
Is everything all right at home?
I don't know. I don't like wearing bright colors. I feel like you stand out too much. It makes like it's loud and I don't like that. I'd rather be like in the shadows, so to speak, kind of lurking. Like you don't see me unless I want you to. I'm Batman.
As we saw last time, you're 100% that, Amanda. Uh, I enjoy a bright color. I have a lot of black in my wardrobe, but I do enjoy bright colors. I mean, I own a full pink suit. So yeah, the bright colors are great, and I miss the '90s aesthetic too. But I I was the same way with the school uniforms. I was just like, yeah, nothing. It's one less thing to worry about. It's just you put on the school uniform, everybody's an even playing field, like you said. And that was a big point of contention. I remember when I started college, once high school was over, and I'm like, okay, I'm in this space now where I can wear what I want every day. And there's like a lot of cute girls, and I want to look nice. And it turned into a thing where I'm like, what am I going to wear today? And it became just another little thing to stress out about. So I remember that being a big learning curve going from uniforms every day for 5 years to, oh, damn, I want to make sure I look good today.
Yeah. And you know what? Uniforms do make you look good. Like, and it kind of gives you, a style to kind of go by or use as a guide. Because wear a collared shirt, sweater, cardigan, nice, like clean pants that fit, like dress pants. That's what you work or wear when you work mostly, like a collared shirt, dress pants. Kind of prepares you for that, gets you into the swing of things, so to speak. I mean, you don't get to wear the shortened, like Millhouse flood pants that all the like Bay Street ballers wear. Bay Street is Toronto for people who are not from Canada and are listening. But yeah, all the finance bros who wear the like shorter, dress pants, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, it sets you up and kind of gives you a basis, right? But I know we had a teacher in high school, do you remember, who wore all white? And he gets full. Yeah, Mr. Martyr, who, well, we don't have to talk about what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, he wore all white all the time. And like someone asked him, like, why do you do that? And he's like, well, the students wear a uniform and I do as well. I like white. I guess as an adult, I subscribe to that, but in the opposite color. But I like that. I like that. It kind of gave me an idea. And yeah, again, lazy. So, and I spill, so knock off, maybe a little. I love color. I love when other people wear it. It looks great, like amazing on some people. I just don't.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And I think I remember it was really cool to see how everybody still found a way to make those school uniforms
Unique.
Everybody, I remember because I was super dorky and virginal in high school. I was always rocking a tie with my vest and everything. And some of the girls, they found ways to hike those kilts up a little bit if they wanted to. They made their pants a little tighter. Some of the guys would like alter those golf shirts, pop that collar. Like everybody had their own vibe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the kilts. Oh my god, don't get me started. Yeah, you just roll them at the waist and it shortened them. Yeah, I heard teachers make comments, which is pretty scary. Good. Yeah, terrifying. A few teachers, about some of the girls, which is maybe a good segue into the Treehouse of Horror, the horrific comments. Terrifying.
Wow, showing some tea on the staff.
Yeah, I will say I had one teacher who asked me if I wanted to ride home from school one day. And it was inappropriate because he had made, and other students noticed, like, they're like, he likes you, eh? And I'm like, what? Yeah.
Okay, well, when we're off the air, you got to tell me who this teacher was. I need to.
I will.
Yeah, that's.
He was weird, and he also wrote like test questions that were like about some of the students that were girls.
Jeez.
Yeah, so he'd be like, say my name, like Amanda Barone has this many frogs, and the frogs have like. He was like, why are you writing like adding people, like students from the class? Yeah, the mid to early 2000s, guys.
Yikes.
I'll give you a hint. He was a science teacher. I guess if you could call him a science teacher, but his focus was really more athletics, and he was a coach.
Okay.
His name started with an M.
You just talked about two subjects that I avoided like the plague. I probably never had this guy. But yeah, afterwards you gotta tell me who this dude is. This is I remember. I thought they knew all the Aquinas appendices lore, but apparently there's more to the story.
Oh, so much lore. All the lore.
Okay. But Treehouse of Horror 11, let's dive into this one. This is a milestone episode, first of all, Amanda, because this aired November 1st, 2000, making it the very first, but definitely not last, Treehouse of Horror to air after Halloween, because Fox prioritized Major League Baseball over the show that pretty much gave Fox its name.
Yeah. It was weird. And I feel like you said, many episodes of the Treehouse of Horror after that always happen in November. And now they're usually the first or second episode, like of the season of The Simpsons. It used to be like the fourth or the fifth. Now it's mainly the first or the second.
The minor falls, the major alert about Heckings and spoken hallelujah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I love baseball. Yeah, they didn't want to lose viewership. I get it, and it sucks, but it was probably a good decision on their part, because a lot of people wouldn't watch it. And I know a lot of like men, like that's a big thing about The Simpsons. Like a lot of guys like it. A lot of guys watched it. I mean, I know a lot of women do too, and families, but it was like a lot. And I feel like a main demographic for the show was probably like men between the ages of like 12, like 45, 50. Like everybody watched it, and specifically men. So making that change was probably wise.
Yeah, I mean, like, and knowing how big baseball can be, I mean, we just saw here because of Toronto and everything, but yeah, I can understand it, but I remember it always making me bitter as a kid, because this was after my baseball phase, when I was snugly into my Simpsons phase, and I'm like, it's freaking baseball, let's ruin now. I want the Simpsons now. And this is the season premiere. Season 12 premiered with Treehouse of Horror 11. Yeah, it feels so weird to premiere with the Halloween episode. There's something off about that. But that's what we ended up with. And we start our episode with a Munsters parody, where we've got classic black and white, the opening of the Munsters with them walking out of their house. And it's funny because it's kind of like the opposite of The Simpsons, where everybody's trying to get back into the house. But to me, this is, and I'll talk more about this as we get into one of the stories, but it might be the earliest example of what I like to call the problem with what modern Simpsons does that I'm not a huge fan of, is the stiff cosplay Simpsons of it all, where it's just them like, I'm Herman Munster now. I'm just standing here as Herman Munster. I'm not Homer anymore. And now I'm going to walk off screen. And there's no joke to it except, hey, look, it's Homer, except he looks like Herman Munster. And that is really present here. And it feels really present in one of the stories here. But yeah, that's the thing about modern Simpsons that I'm not a huge fan of, and they do that a lot. And this feels like like the first step in that direction.
Yeah, no, I agree. This season, like all the seasons prior to this, the stories were more original. And I know, even like we talked about it in the first episode, like the Raven, that's the only like non-parody. They actually read the poem, and they're playing it out. So it's you can like, it's still funny, but yeah, a lot of the writing relies heavily on them just kind of inserting the characters into whatever they're trying to parody, and finding a way to do that, which is good at times and works at times. But yeah, half the time it's just, okay, well, here we go. But I don't know. I think that I think it worked with the Munsters because, they had all the characters pretty much down for the most part. My mom actually recently got the DVD of the Munsters, like the season. Yeah, she's a DVD player. I don't know, a lot of people do. We have so many DVDs, and I refuse to get rid of them. Blu-rays, I'm not getting rid of them. So yeah, she was watching the Munsters, and when I watched this, in advance of the show to talk about it, it was funny because it does kind of work, like with Lisa as, the cousin, because she would be like that. Totally. And then they all die, which is when like the townspeople come, with fire and pitchforks, and they, kill them. And then Lisa's like, oh, and she kind of exits. Like, I really liked that joke. I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
But it's nice when they do their animation a little bit differently. So that segment was like black and white, which was cool. You don't normally see that. So I mean, that was kind of a nice little nod. But I do agree with you. I don't like when they just like plop the characters. Oh, you're this, you're this, and like go on. Like they need to have more, imagination when it comes to it. But I want to talk about this episode, and we'll talk about it in a later sketch. But I find that these were a little more creative in terms of like I laughed a lot in this episode. More than some of the other Treehouse of Horrors that we watched. So,
ooh, good to hear. All right.
Yeah. A lot of the jokes, like, I remember, and like, oh, I actually say that every day or two. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the townsfolk killing them, like that's what makes this okay. That's a Simpsons joke. There it is. It's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, they're monsters. The townsfolk are going to come after them, and that saves the monsters thing from just being cosplay. Yeah, it's a great button on that moment. I'm glad they inserted that. So our first tale is Ghost Dad. Now I've never seen the Bill Cosby movie Ghost Dad.
You haven't?
No, I hear it's pretty disturbing to see him be a ghost, and I've seen clips where he's like, and he's, the ghost, he's doing like ghost noises and Cosby noises in one thing, and it's something to behold. But
yeah, I mean, in retrospect, those noises were so like endearing to people. People love them. But watching that movie now, it's like, yeah, it is actually kind of creepy, like you're saying, like the sounds. It's like we used to rent it all the time. Like my family loved the Cosbys. Like we always watched Cosby Show. I loved like scary movies, and it was like a family friendly scary movie that my brother was afraid of them. He didn't like scary movies. So anyway, yeah. So we used to rent it a lot because it's funny, and like my dad liked it. He's like, oh, look at Cosby, look at Bob Cosby, because he always messed up people's names. Anyway, yeah. So. Yeah, I couldn't watch it again. Like, obviously, the allegations, the charges laid on him for the things that he did, which were terrible. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I don't care that he's old. I don't know how he isn't in prison. But anyway, yeah, this movie was pretty popular, and it's funny to a point, but the things that he does, yeah, are pretty terrifying. So it's a better spin, I think, on the movie. In the movie, he comes back to life at the end.
That's right. I remember seeing that, and there was a clip I saw where his daughter's boyfriend calls, and he's just like a huge asshole, and he calls and he's like, "Just put the bitch on the phone, man." And Bill Cosby's like, "Excuse me, put the bitch on the phone." And that was the first time I'd ever heard a profanity come out of Bill Cosby's mouth, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, he was very straight-laced, and I think it was for a good reason. Like, he was trying to set an example and, be funny without being rash and, crude.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do. So, like,
really
is. It's very hard. I think Nate Bargatze is probably one of the only comedians right now that's, like, really like that. He's pretty, like, he's not crude. He doesn't really swear. Like, his jokes are pretty on the level, like
keeps it PG rated.
Yeah, like you could listen to it with your children and like it wouldn't be.
That's a rare thing.
But he's funny. He's really funny. Anyway, enough about that.
I do miss the Jell-O pudding pop commercial. Yeah. I'll say that.
Yeah. Or kids say the darndest things. That
was a fun show.
Also terrifying now though, thinking back and around all those kids. And like kids say the darndest things. It's like, yeah, that's an excuse for the shit you did. And they just say the darndest things. What did you do to them, Bill?
You can't believe a word they say. It's all just darn things.
Yeah, terrible.
Oh boy, terrible. Well, yeah. All right, so good ghost dad. Very funny little story. Just a simple tale of the Simpsons being the Simpsons, except something goes horribly wrong because a horoscope tells Homer, "Hey, you're gonna die," and he takes it lightly as Homer would do. And throughout the day, death keeps knocking at his door, and he keeps narrowly avoiding it. which is odd for Homer because usually any excuse to injure or incapacitate Homer, the universe will take that opportunity. But eventually he does die from eating broccoli. And it doesn't even, doesn't even necessarily choke on the broccoli. It's just the broccoli is so deadly that it kills him. But he, on his way up into the pearly gates of heaven, he's told, you can't come in unless you do a good deed in 24 hours because you haven't really done any of those. And the rest of the story is him trying to do a good deed before his time's up so he can get into heaven. But it's not quite Homer's forte. And St. Peter wasn't even looking when he finally does one inadvertently. So poor Homer gets sent to hell. And he has a worse time there than he did back the first time he went when he got stuffed full of donuts.
Yeah. I think this episode, yeah, with the donuts, I like that they revisit hell. It's kind of similar. Like they kept the design very, very much the same, and the devil's kind of the same. Obviously, it isn't. I think it was Ned in the last episode where Homer goes to hell and he's being force fed as his punishment, for being a glutton. Yeah, that was great. It was nice to revisit it. I love the devil, and I love that they include John Wayne. Like, quiet or wake John Wayne, and he's like, "Oh, I'm all ready. You got a mug." Like the day with the John Wayne is like meaner than the devil. Like, it was my favorite part.
He's just living a new life down there, and he's just miserable and cranky.
Yeah, I think I say that at least like twice a week. Like, quiet or wake John Wayne. I'm all ready. Like, I love that. It's like one of my favorite Simpsons quotes of all time. And it's funny because when I rewatched this episode, I didn't remember the rest of the sketch, like the Ghost Dad sketch. Maybe my brain was trying to erase the affiliation with the Cosby movie. But I don't know. Yeah. This is interesting to rewatch. I feel like it's not one of the Treehouse of Horrors that they replay more frequently. Like, there's ones that they like are in syndication and they play a lot. I don't feel like this one is. Like, after season 10, like they replay a lot of the classic season 1 to 10, and most people are familiar with those. But yeah, this one was a nice revisit because I feel like I hadn't seen it in so long.
And it's funny you bring that up because I had the opposite reaction, because I remember, and I did some detective work here because I watched this and I had when you watch something after you haven't seen it in a long time and you get that rush back where you're like, oh, I used to watch this thing all the time, like over and over and over. And this episode, I don't know how or why or what context, but this treehouse I saw so many times over and over to the point where I was like, okay, I must have had it on VHS. Because like I ended up getting all the DVDs, but that wouldn't account for me seeing this one. So I was like, it couldn't just be from the DVD. I must have had like a VHS with this one on it. So I literally started looking up all the Simpsons VHS tapes that they used to come out with that would have like, 4 episodes on it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked through all of them and I'm like, did I have this? Did I have that? And I tried to find this Treehouse. And it turns out this particular episode of Treehouse was never released on one of those small VHS home releases. They had Treehouse 10. They even had Treehouse 12. But Treehouse 11, nowhere to be found, at least not where I looked. So I don't know. It's an unsolved mystery. I don't know how I ended up always seeing this one. I don't know if Teletoon just decided we're just going to play this a bunch, but it was to the point, Amanda, where I'm watching it like last week and I'm like, oh, I can recite this episode. Like I know exactly what's coming.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what it was. I couldn't explain it to you.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, I had the opposite. And maybe it's because I used to watch the like VHS DVDs and like you said, it skipped that. Mm-hmm. Or like, and you said Teletoon. I never have ever watched Simpsons on Teletoon, ever. I've only ever watched it on Fox or like Global if it was on TV. Mm-hmm. Or I watched it live a lot. So Yeah, no, that's interesting. And then like I worked at Best Buy, so same thing. Like I would find like they would have the collection, like all the Christmas episodes on a DVD or all the Halloween on a DVD. They started doing that because they realized people were like needing to switch between seasons during like holiday seasons, right? So I'd always buy them and I'd get like, employee discounts. So I had so many things like that. But yeah, eventually I got rid of a lot of cases and I just put everything in my DVD binders. But yeah, no, that's interesting. I had the exact opposite experience, but that could be why. That could be the reason why.
Maybe it was Teletoon. But yeah, it was, and like I would not even call this one of my favorite Treehouse either. So it's not like it's something that I opted to go back to over and over. I really couldn't figure it out. It was baffling me like all week. But yeah. So I have seen Good Ghost Dad and the following two stories many, many times. And this one in particular, really, it keeps holding up. I really like this story. I really like seeing Homer try to do a good deed, ending up inadvertently killing Agnes Skinner because he was pretty sure she was going to be the next Hitler.
Yeah. I love how while it's happening, she's like, why is this? How am I floating? Like, people can see up my bustle. That's the first thing an older woman would say. Oh no, my bustle, or something like that, right? So funny.
Yeah, the John Wayne thing. That's beautiful. That's classic Simpsons. That is it's a great button to put on the end of this story. I like it a lot, and as we talked about on this show many times, I like when a Treehouse story is just the Simpsons being the Simpsons, and crazy stuff happens to them. It's always just an extra layer of fun when that happens. All right, what's our next story?
So our next story is Scary Tales Can Come True. So this is a again, family focused sort of story where it's all the Simpsons characters together. It's a fairy tale parody, and it's pretty recognizable from the jump. It's basically a parody of Hansel and Gretel. Starts off, Homer and Marge are in like this rustic. I think they live in a pumpkin, so it's keeping the Halloween theme. It's one of the things where you see like a Halloween, icon or decoration, because otherwise I don't think there is a nod to really Halloween in this episode. It's pretty much that's just the pumpkin. I was thinking about it when I was watching it. Anyhow, it's a fairy tale parody. Homer and Marge, it's like medieval. They're kind of peasants. Homer comes home, he's like, oh, I lost my job as being what is it, a dunce? No, he says maybe I can be a dunce. I was a
He was the oaf.
Yeah, the town oaf. And they're like worried now because they can't feed their kids. I don't think Lisa or Maggie is in this episode though.
She shows up a tiny bit. They have her in the window with a sign that says
baby for sale. Yeah. That's right.
Pony your best offer or something.
Yeah, OBO, yeah, something like that. So they realize they have to get rid of Bart and Lisa. So Homer, kind of takes them and abandons them in the woods, like Hansel and Gretel style. And one of my favorite jokes here is like your other brother and sister. And they're like, we have brother and sister. And as soon as he like tosses them into the woods, there's like a skeleton set of kids that look like Bart and Lisa. But so thankfully, Lisa being Lisa, she's an avid reader. She knows the fairy tale story. So she's able to kind of guide them, through the terrain, past the evil goblin under the bridge, which is Mo. And he kind of, I love that when they're like, oh, there might be a goblin here. And he pops out and he's immediately like swiping his arms. Ah! And they run away and they're like, oh man. And he's like, I just need a friend. Maybe I just came on too strong. And it's like, yeah, a little.
That's his opener. Just
yeah, but the swipe. So they're kind of going through and navigating dangers in this forest. Homer goes back home. Marge is like, where are the kids? It's like, oh, I got rid of them. And she's like, why would you do that? We could put them for sale. And yeah, you're right. That's where you see Maggie, and she has the sign. So she tells Homer to go back and get them. So he goes through the forest to look for them, Lisa and Bart. And I really like this part of the sketch where Homer, while he's looking for Bart and Lisa, he encounters Rapunzel in a tower. And she's like, "Oh, Sir Knight, please help me." And she releases her hair, and Homer tries to climb it, immediately scalps her. I think he gets like a couple feet off, and she's like, "Oh, oh," and like you just see her whole scalp just fall. And I'm like, "Wow, that's pretty dark for The Simpsons," but I like it. It was funny. I feel like this episode had a lot of very like Simpsons-esque humor coming back, which was really good. Anyway, onward. Homer is looking for the kids. He finds them after they meet up with an old like ratchety witch in a house made of candy, just like Hansel and Gretel, who has motive to, fatten up and enslave the children so she could eat them. While Homer's looking for them, they start to have an interaction with the witch, which I think is hilarious. Like, they're making Lisa clean. Bart's just sitting there eating, and Lisa's like, "Well, why are you cleaning? Like, who's going to come visit you?" And it's a very funny reference to like the Brady Bunch, where she's like, "Oh, yeah, I have friends." And they're like, "Oh yeah, who?" And she looks at a cauldron and she's like, George Cauldron." Which is amazing. Like, George Glass. That's how Jan reacted in the original Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
So I really love that joke and how they really like poke fun at the witch. Homer comes, saves the day, pushes the witch into her own oven, but not before she's able to cast some spells on him, and he becomes a partial fish / rabbit / broom / chicken man. But when he kills her, he's able to partially, come back to his normal body, but he's still half chicken, and he's able to feed the family, so the kids can come back home. Yeah. But there's some horrible things that happen along the way. I really like there's an instance where Bart and Lisa meet up with the three bears. They encounter their house, and
That's right. I forgot about the three bears.
yeah, one of my favorite jokes in the episode or the sketch. I always say that in the sketch where they're looking around and like, "This is weird," and Bart's like, "Too hot, too cold," and he just like he puts the cold into the hot and starts. It's like, "Well, this is easy to solve." Bart figures it out. Like, you see a little bit of intelligence from him there, which is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
But they leave because they're like, "Oh shit, the bears," and they lock the door and they're like, jimmy it shut with a chair. And then they're like, "Wait a minute, where's what's her face, the sleeping, the one who's sleeping, the three bears." No, Goldilocks. They're like, "Where's Goldilocks?" And it's like her coming out, and the bears are there and angry. And then the door is jimmied shut. She can't escape. And it's just blood. She's screaming, and there's just blood starts pooling under the door.
The voice actress screaming as Goldilocks, she is giving it 100%. It's flawless.
So good. I love that they had like some death. And it is a Halloween episode, right? They got a little nod to horror. Goldilocks ate it. Or she got ate, that's for sure. Yeah. So it's a good episode. It has a lot of really funny jokes. Like, I don't know. So what was your favorite part of this sketch, Andrew?
Oh boy. I'm torn on this sketch. I feel like this sketch is the one in this episode that has a lot of pure amazing Simpsons moments, and then a couple of moments that feel like it was written by non-Simpsons writers, and I'm like, I don't know. It's a tricky one for me. Like, I think the fact that George Cauldron ends up being a real person, I love so much. Yeah. That is Simpsons gold. But putting the porridge together, that is Simpsons gold. It's doing what you don't expect. Yeah. I love those things. That's perfect Simpsons material. And then on the other hand, like, there's the moment where Bart is just nonchalant about the fact that this witch is clearly fattening him up to eat him. And as he sits there, he's basting himself in juices. And that's so funny. And then I feel like the Simpsons writers would have stopped there. But then for some reason, somebody was like, let's have Lisa call attention to the fact that he's basting himself. Like, we don't need that. So this episode, I'm always back and forth. There's like moments where I'm just like hooting and hollering and I'm laughing my ass off. And then other ones where I'm like, why did they exclude this or include that? What's going on? So I always find myself on the fence with scary tales can come true, but I love classic fairy tales. I love the whole aspect of grim fairy tales. And I'm a big fan of the idea, particularly like the Germanic folklore of like there's a witch in the woods, and that's why I love the movie The Witch so much, even though it's American folklore. But like that, to put the Simpsons into that, I'm like, yeah, I'm all for this. So I'm like 60% of the time in this sketch, I'm enjoying myself so much, and then the other 40%, I'm just like, oh, I wish it was just a little bit more like classic. I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely, there's more good than not. And one thing I find myself quoting, for you, it's the John Wayne thing. I think one of the two things I find myself quoting from this whole episode the most, and I won't give away the second one yet because that's my favorite quote of the episode, but the other one is when the witch gets thrown in the oven and she screams, "I couldn't be in more pain."
Yeah. And Homer's like, oh, or the George Calder is like, oh, is Suzanne ready? I'm here. Is Suzanne ready? And he's like, oh, she'll be about 20 minutes. He's like, well, really? The concert starts at 8. Like, he's so concerned about the event he's bringing her to. Like his old disgusting witch. He's all like fancy and proper. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I don't really. She's robbing the cradle. She found herself a good-looking young man.
Yeah. No, but I love the witch is my favorite. Like, I really liked this sketch. I like that. I like the way that they did the cosplay in this. I thought it was funny. I just think the jokes worked really well, and the fact that they refocus. You know, Homer's a dunce. They focus on that. Like that's why he would have to do this. Yeah. The inclusion of the, like you said, Germanic folklore. I think that's why, to your point where you're like, it feels like it was written by someone else, because it was like, it's still the grim story, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like the jokes in this episode just really slapped. Like the inclusion of George Cauldron, like being real, like in his comments, just the witch in general, like everything she said made me laugh. Like, like that's a low-bearing candy cane. Like I love that. I love that.
Her initial lap in the doorway where she's just like, and then the kid's like, I trust her.
Yeah, I think I trust her. Yeah. No, I really liked this sketch. I thought it was good, and I laughed just a lot. And at the end, like it's like a good ending, but it's still not. Like it ended kind of horrible. Like Homer still have chicken, man, which benefits the family because he can. And the animation, it starts with like a drawing of their house, and then it ends with Homer like laying an egg, like forcing it out.
Possibly one of the most disturbing images this show's ever done, and that is on full display in the book now.
Yes, I'm so glad. I love that. It's like in mid push, like
that's a tattoo right there.
Yeah, right on your chest in the middle, like an emo bat.
Oh man. Well, that's Scary Tales Can Come True. And then we finish things off with Night of the Dolphin. And this one sees the family at a marine land or marine world type place, or SeaWorld. SeaWorld is the place in California. That was a big deal. I don't think it exists anymore. Yeah. But you see this poor dolphin, Snarky, who's being put through all of the typical stuff that like folks like Shamu in the real world have had to deal with. And of course, Lisa's there. Lisa being Lisa, she's like, I don't like this. We got to do something about it. She decides to free Snarky. So she frees Snarky, and she gets a thing to the face for her trouble, but she frees Snarky. And he reunites with his dolphin brethren, and turns out he's kind of a king among dolphins. And he decides that they've had enough, that the human world has taken things too far, and the dolphins are going to take back the land and drive the humans into the sea, as once happened many, many millennia ago. So the dolphins start an uprising and they invade the human world. And what follows is one half birds, one half Planet of the Apes. And it's just a lot of great Simpsons goodness. Human versus dolphin action. They take over Springfield and eventually the world. And the dolphins end up winning this confrontation, even though we get this heroic rally of all the humans saying, we're not going to let these dolphins push us around, and this great battle takes place. And then next thing you know, we cut to the water, and the humans are just like, well, I guess they just wanted it more.
They just wanted it more. That's what Homer says, right? I guess they just wanted it more than we did. Yeah.
And now they're living in the water, and Krusty's dead body is floating up to the kid.
Yeah, and then it goes to the end, and it's the dot in the question mark of all the bodies floating. Like, and no one in the Springfield can swim, apparently.
Apparently not.
Or the dolphins just bottlenose them to death.
Oh man, cool. And Lenny decides to mix alcohol and night swimming.
Night
A
swimming.
combination.
Winning combo. I love the nod to Jaws there, because he's like, yeah, it's the opening scene of Jaws. The woman is, they're drinking by the fire, and she jumps in the water and immediately gets, destroyed by a shark. I really like that they included the sea captain in this, because he's like, it's happening, the dolphins. And he stands on the edge of the dock, and they immediately attack and eat him. And then they mock him. Like, the dolphin is wearing the sea captain's hat and the pipe, and he's like, "Rarg." But yeah, I like that Lisa is like, she's so, like, the hubris, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna let them out. And she's like, they're animals. So it hits her in the face. It's like, good. I'm glad that happened. Because it should have happened in Free Willy, too. Should have knocked that kid into the ocean.
And her reaction of just the slow-mo disgust.
Like wiping it off her face. So, can I ask you a question, Andrew?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what the sea captain's name is?
I know his name is Captain McAllister, but I don't know his first name.
Yes, McAllister. It's the same as Captain Crunch. Horatio McAllister.
Horatio. Oh
yeah.
my God, I love it.
Yeah, like Horatio Hornblower and like Captain Crunch. Yeah, so I love that he gets killed by the dolphins. It's just I like this parody a lot because it's a good, it's a great idea. They took like Free Willy, they took like the Planet of the Apes essentially, right? Because the animals can talk, they're trying to take over. But it highlights something that's really awful in real life, like Marineland and having these animals in captivity.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did take revenge on a lot of the handlers. Like so many have died because of, accidents that have occurred with these creatures. And it's sad. And, so it's kind of mocking animal rights, but like, it's like what happens in like freeing animals and it backfires, right? So, or animal, forgetting that animals are animals. Like,
right.
They may speak and they're anthropomorphized like it's animals. Like they have very different motivations, right? Yeah, I thought it was well done. And I liked that it is a nod to a couple of things like Free Willy and like I said, Planet of the Apes, kind of like the birds, but the Simpsons did it well because they took something that is somewhat scary and they kind of made it a little scarier, and they put a good Simpsons twist on it. I feel like this sketch specifically, like it had a good ending. Like I liked the animals one and they were forced into the sea again. That was good. I enjoyed that. I like that premise.
Yeah, this felt the most Twilight Zone-y of this whole trilogy here.
Yeah, absolutely. I liked it. And it was taking an idea and making it more horror, which movies like that, I feel like they should do more of that instead of just remaking things. Like I really enjoyed the Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Like that movie was cool. It was so much fun. And like the Pride and Prejudice zombies, that was really good. Like taking something that isn't maybe horror and making it horror, I love. Or taking something and changing the genre is always so much fun. And I think they need to do more of that. Not to say like, Planet of the Apes isn't horrific, but Free Willy isn't. So it's nice to see them take that and make it like a scary version of it. So I don't know. I liked this one. I thought it was well done.
Same. It's a lot of fun to see just the way these dolphins interact and the fact that they're animated in the Simpsons way. So they have that Simpsons look. They kind of have overbite, and when they're upright and they're posing as humans, it's just so funny to see that little 1-2 punch of when they walk out of when all the humans walk out of City Hall.
Yeah.
Got all those dolphins in Springfield, and first of all, you've got this birds shot where they're on like the power lines, and you're just like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then I doubled over when you have that one dolphin leaning against the jalopy, just flipping a coin.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
This is my favorite dolphin. Or everything they did
Brooklyn dolphin.
Yeah, exactly.
From the Bronx.
He's just ready to rumble. Everything with these dolphins was priceless. And again, the ending is fantastic. It's a Rod Serling ending if there ever was one.
Yeah.
I think that the Lisa of it all, having Lisa kind of be the instigator, was perfect because it's stuck close to the characters, right? Again, we don't have the characters acting out of character. It's Lisa being Lisa, but then it leads to a Halloween event. And I also love how Lisa, being the caring, gentle soul she is, she still stops to take the 6-pack thing off the baby's nose. And then the baby retaliates by biting her. She's like, "Ah, son of a!" It's like, you like those little moments. They're just so Simpsons. And this was just a pure Simpsons Halloween story. And I think it was. I think I remember showing this too. Like I talked about how I saw this episode over and over. I remember distinctly showing this to my stepmom at the time because she loved dolphins. They were like her favorite animal. So I was like, "Oh, Christine, you got to see this episode of Simpsons." And she hated Simpsons for whatever reason, but I'm like, "You got to watch this. You got to watch this. Check this out." So not only did I watch this episode a lot, but somehow I had enough access to it that I could show it to some. So I have no idea why this episode was so watched in my youth. I never taped things, so I wouldn't have had it on tape. I really don't know. This is a big mystery. Sherlock, Batman, if you're out there, help me solve this mystery.
That's really funny.
Yeah. I don't know how I watched it so much.
No, it's funny that you say that. Like, you showed it to someone who was a big fan of dolphins. I feel like in the 90s and early 2000s, like, dolphins were a big thing people loved. It was like an aesthetic. Everyone loves dolphin like sculptures and like dolphin shirts and like dolphin. Everyone loves dolphins.
And you know what it was? Lisa Frank. You remember Lisa Frank?
Yes, of course. Hey, of course.
That art style, man. Dolphins galore.
Yeah, panda bears, dolphins. Yeah, rainbows, tiger lift, cheetah print, like, yeah, cheetah print dolphin, like rainbow cheetah print dolphin with a unicorn. It's also part narwhal, like, like everything was just fun and eccentric. Yeah, but yeah, this sketch was great, and I think it was actually almost banned. That was like a trivia when I was reading about it because of the violence with the dolphins. They almost rated it like 14A or something. But this episode was actually like pretty dark.
It was
like Homer dying and then the cosmic retribution of it. Peter was like, "Yeah, no, I didn't see that. You get to go to hell." The second episode, or the second I always say episode, the second sketch, like, it's abandoning the kids in the woods, and they see the corpses of like their brothers. It's like child corpses are in the woods. And then Goldilocks gets just like demolished by a couple bears. And it's funny, the baby bear has like a deep voice. Did you notice that?
I did not notice that.
His voice is like, ooh, it's like really deep. Yeah. I don't know why they did that as like a bill. Yeah, but yeah, and you see the blood, she dies. And then the end, like, the humans lose. Like, it was a pretty dark episode, even though like it was funny and it has a lot of really good like Simpsons classic humor in it. So yeah, it's a little different than the other seasons. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, there's a bleakness to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that this is airing November 2000, so we're still in a pre 9/11 world. We haven't reached the point where everybody's being bleak yet.
Yeah, this is true.
This is always ahead of their time, man.
Yeah, all they had was a year though, and then boom.
That's it. But I wonder, I guess the next one, no, there wouldn't be any kind of, because they would have made it too far in advance. the next one wouldn't have any kind of you wouldn't be able to tell like this was made
Post.
9/11
Yeah.
because it still wouldn't have been made. But for 13, we might see something or feel something.
You know what? I feel like they had maybe references in later seasons around the time 9/11 happened. A lot of shows either acknowledged it in their not a lot of shows acknowledged it in their storyline. Like, think of all the shows that are set in New York. Like, even Friends during 9/11, they didn't acknowledge it in their storyline at all. It's a comedy show. They couldn't. But that show ran from like 96 or 94 until 2004. And they didn't once acknowledge it.
And they're in New York too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Seinfeld, maybe
Seinfeld was over at that point.
It was pre, yeah. Seinfeld was pre. Looks like 98 or 99, right? That it ended. Yeah, even like think of like Law and Order. Maybe some of the storylines after 9/11 included like more terrorism themes, but did they ever mention it? Like I'm pretty sure they don't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think it was kind of this thing where they were almost afraid to, like at least a lot of media was afraid to kind of bring it up. Like, we don't want to be a downer. We're not going to bring this up. And then other media leaned into it really heavily.
Yeah.
I remember being at Comic World at Bramley City Center, which RIP, that comic book store has died and come back and died so many times. It's on like its 5th iteration now. But I remember being in there shortly after 9/11, and there was like a few months after, and there was a Spider-Man comic. I think it was Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not only were they mentioning 9/11, but it was about it. I think like the superheroes were trying to pull people out of the rubble. Like, it was really weird.
Yeah.
I'm still not sure how I feel about it. And like the whole issue is just like Spider-Man and Daredevil and whatever. And they're like, let's go help. Mm-hmm. And I remember one of the last pages, and this, like, I was like, what's happening? It's Dr. Doom. And I think he's standing on like the Statue of Liberty or something, and he's looking at what has happened. And there's just like a tear coming out of his eye. And I'm like, Dr. Doom is upset? What? I was flummoxed by this comic. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, it was really, really strange. I remember telling my friend Tiago about it, and he was like, maybe Dr. Doom is sad because he didn't think of the idea first. Like,
that's it.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, no, that's crazy. But like, I get it. And yes, to like the point you said, some things were really leaning into it, and like you couldn't swing a purse, swing a cat, like the news, it was all about that. So maybe it was a conscious decision, like to not bring it up, to avoid it, so people could have an escape from all of that, because it was really heavy. It was a bad time. People were really scared everywhere. It was terror, right? So yeah, it's interesting to think this was the first episode of the millennium for the Treehouse 4 for The Simpsons.
That's
the first. Yeah, crazy.
Literally. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's nuts to think of. All right, we got to talk about our favorite quote or moment here. What do you have?
There's so many in this one. I have a book where like I write notes when I watch it, and my favorite quotes for this episode is "Be quiet or wake John Wayne," or for this first sketch, "Be quiet or wake John Wayne." Definitely, and he's like, "I'm already up." That's it. That's the best. Number one. Yeah. How about you?
Before I tell you, can we see the cover of that book again? Because that was pretty sweet. What's going on?
It's pretty cool. It's like pop art. The inside is like, it has like Post-it notes. So I put my favorite quotes on Post-it notes, and I make notes for every episode because I'm a nerd.
This is the greatest book ever. Look at this. I feel sorry for anybody listening to the audio only version. Yeah.
I wrote Horatio McAllister in the teeth of the face.
For those who are only listening to the audio, it's like Amanda's got this pop art thing that looks like Betty Cooper talking on the phone, and just sensually looking at the audience. And now there's Simpsons stuff on her mind. And what's she saying there? I'm not here right. Oh, I'm not.
Yep, not here right now. It's like Betty Draper calling Dawn.
That is awesome. Yeah. My favorite quote here It's something that I just find myself saying all the time, just to myself, even when I'm alone, is you were wrong. Dead wrong. Yeah, talk like that? No, not really.
I think there's a special shout out too where Homer's reading his horoscope and it's like, yeah, you will die. Also, a coworker will compliment you, and he's like, "Ooh, I hope it's Lenny." And then Lenny's like, "Oh, hey Homer, that's a nice rattlesnake," like biting him. So it does happen. Like the horoscope was actually right, and I love the joke on horoscopes and how, like, they're always so fucking ambiguous. And this one was very specific. You will die today. And then Marge checks hers. Your husband's going to die today. It's like, oh shit, oh, be careful. But just like leading up to his death, like all the traumatic shit that happens to him, like his car gets fully cut in half, like demolished. And he's like, and he's like yelling at the Grim Reaper. Yeah. Anyway.
Attacks in his brain. Yeah.
I mean, he's like, yeah, he lists all the things that he survived in a day. The poisonous broccoli, which I think is like a running joke as well. The broccoli.
Maybe.
I think it is.
Again, it's so funny to me that he doesn't choke on it. It's just he has
Placed
it, he's ingested it, it's in his mouth, and he's dead. And it happens twice. It kills his ghost too. But yeah, his ghost talking to Marge in a ghost voice, and then him saying, "No, I don't really have to talk like that."
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's beautiful. He made the conscious choice to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go like."
I mean, to be fair, if I was a ghost and I was haunting people, I would do that too. I wouldn't have my normal voice. Yeah. I'd fuck with them. It would be funny. Like, what other joy would you have? They'd be flying or floating if that's a thing. Well, yeah, that'd be dope.
Fine. Well, you can watch people in the shower.
I'm not so much into voyeurism. Put it away. I'm like Tobias Funke. Never nude, always in like little jean shorts. No.
There are dozens of us.
Yeah. I'm an anal rapist. Analytical therapist. Yeah.
I was thinking about his book yesterday, The Man Inside Me.
He's great. He's so funny.
Tobias from K is the best.
Oh, he's so good. I just blew myself. Love it.
All right, let's get to ranking these three stories.
Okay. Start off, Andrew. What's your number 3?
Okay, what is my number 3? I think I remember it. This was a tough one to rank. They were very close, but yeah, my number 3 is Scary Tales Can Come True. Only because of that flip-flopping I mentioned. There's moments that I'm just baffled by, but then there are moments that are awesome. George Cauldron, I love that he exists. One thing that will always be funny just by existing, just by seeing it on screen, is Bart Simpson's skeleton just makes me laugh. I said it.
Yeah,
like,
the hair.
yeah,
It's like a dinosaur's like fossils.
like that episode with the Big Brother program where Homer forgets to pick up Bart from soccer, and he has that nightmare where he's holding Bart's skeleton, and he's like, "Why?" Like that shit.
It's uniform.
Yeah. Just I love seeing Bart's skeleton. I don't know what it is. So there's plenty to love here. I have an even better time with the other two stories. So Scary Tales falls at number 3.
Nice. I get your reasoning. You explained like you're just not into the vibe. Like you didn't like the and I get it. I was more into that, I guess, cosplay of it. I just think the jokes were funny.
Mm-hmm.
The jokes to me were like classic Simpsons. So I'm not putting that at number 3 for mine. My number 3 is definitely Ghost Dad.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean I like it. But I feel like it didn't have as many funny jokes. It was good though. Like I feel like this episode for me was kind of the hardest to rank so far. Because I laughed at a lot of them. And that's where I am kind of basing it. Like, even though it's horror themed, like horror movies always have like comedic relief. They always have characters who are funny for the most part. Like Silence of the Lambs, maybe not but like, you know, they always try to break it up. And it's nice to see, like, you know, it works so well for comedic shows to do Halloween episodes like this. Because it's like a good duality, right? Like funny versus like scary, tragic. And you get to actually feel something. Like when you laugh, it's good for you. Your body releases like endorphins and like oxytocin and stuff like that. Like you feel good, dopamine, serotonin.
Yeah.
When you're scared, same thing. Like you release adrenaline. So you have feelings when like you watch things, and it's cool to have like, not to say like a roller coaster, but that's kind of what it is. Like it goes up and down. So I think The Simpsons doing the Treehouse of Horrors in general is good because it's funny, and sometimes it's scary when you think about the concepts or the philosophies of what they're putting out there. But yeah, I would say 3 is probably, or for 3 for me is the Ghost parody. I like the other ones better. Yeah.
Totally fair. And I have Ghost at number 2. And it's funny, I feel the same way that you do there, where it just ended up that both of our favorite quotes happen to be from this sketch, but it's also the one with the least laughs in this whole episode.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's interesting how we sort of lean into certain stories or story archetypes because we just are comfortable with this. Everything is familiarity. Like anything that you like is just familiarity. Even like attraction to faces. They've proven it. If you show someone people's faces, okay, a couple times, they see them a couple times, and then you introduce new faces and you ask who's more attractive, they'll always say the people who they've seen before.
Whoa. Wow. Okay.
Unless there's like a Cindy Crawford or like, you know what I mean? Marilyn Monroe, they toss her in. But like of normal people, it's always who they're more familiar with. Wow. So yeah, I feel like that translates probably to a lot of things when it comes to like people's psychology. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I like that. I've never heard of that experiment, but that's yeah. So there is the familiarness of this ghost thing, and because it's the family being the family, yeah, I guess that helped bump it up for me. But yeah, it's not the funniest. It has the funniest moments, but it's not the most laugh-filled. But I guess just the nostalgia value of that particular I am Homer Simpson, that whole thing, I think that's what bumped it up for me to number 2. Otherwise, it's very close to Scary Tales can come true. What about your number 2?
My number 2 is definitely, can you guess what it is?
I'm going to guess it's Night of the Dolphin.
No, Night of the Dolphin is number 1 for me. It's it's the scary stories. That's my number 2. I really love the witch. I think she's hilarious. I love that they included Mo as the goblin. Mo is one of my favorite characters. I love him. I love him so much. The things that he says are his one-liners, just like they slap every time. Like, like one of my favorites is someone says something and Mo is like, yeah, well, I sweat blood. Just like his life is misery. It's like there's so many random. He's like, I was born by a witch and I came out backwards on fire. It's like, what? His lore is just insane. It's insane. So, and that was like a non-Halloween episode where I think he says that. So really just, I love his character so much. So just having it like swiping, like, the terror at, whatever, where they're on the bus and it's the Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
Of the monster on the plane of the wing and, it's Bart instead. And how, Ned picks up the creature and immediately it's like, and it's like swiping at its face. I just love when things do that. And people are like not afraid. And they're like, yeah.
And that's Mo's attempt at making friends.
Yeah. I came out a little strong. Like, I love that. So like, again, it may not be for most people because they're so familiar with Hansel and Gretel, but the jokes in it were funny for me. I love seeing the abandoned dead children.
Oh my God.
It's funny. Like, that's dark. And like, they really captured this. I like Simpsons humor in this sketch, I think, more than some of the other previous Treehouse of Horrors. Like, this one made me laugh a lot. And it was really hard to pick. So, I mean, Night of the Dolphins, I love the nod to Free Willy. I love that it's dolphins. It's just preposterous, right? Like, there's a sea, like a water creature. Like, anyway, they are a mammal and they're super intelligent. So, like, that nod makes sense. And it's funny, like I was reading recently about how they have like these weird laws around dolphins. Like you can't give birth around them.
Wow. Okay. Well, there goes my plans the next summer.
Yeah. So like people used to give like have like water births and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And apparently and they've studied it, if you like give birth and it's like near a dolphin, they're able to like do some like weird psychic shit with you. I'm not even joking. Like look into it. It's crazy. So they have these like laws where you're not allowed. It's like, why is that a thing?
Yeah. Now I want to experience this.
Yeah. Like if I want to have a water birth with a fucking dolphin, like why is it illegal? What kind of magic shit is like it's easier or better for you than going to an emergency room and a doctor like giving you a C-section and pumping you full of drugs? Like apparently like they don't have pain. Women like don't experience the pain of the labor. It's like some sonic frequency that they like give off, and it like, yeah, I'm telling you, look it up. I don't mean to like spiral into conspiracy theory, but it was it was interesting. Like why? Yeah, look it up. Like
there's a movie unto itself. I love
it. Yeah, and there's like weird laws because people have done stupid things. Like, oh, you can't get drunk and ride a horse through like a courthouse in South Carolina or something like that. Like because people have done things, right? Like that's the precedent. Like there's precedents for things. So like, what was the precedent there? Like,
right? Like somebody did that and they got superpowers, and the government was like, "We don't like that. We don't want people to have powers."
Maybe. Kal-El, no. Kal-El.
The lasso of Hestia compels you to tell the truth.
Yeah. I love we watch the what's it called? Death on the Nile. We always joke like, and enough champagne to fill the Nile, and she like throws a bucket of champagne, but she's not even like standing at the edge of the boat. So like someone is like just walked down a set of stairs like beside her. Like you just threw champagne all over that bitch. What's she doing?
Right.
Yeah, just tossing champagne.
The Wayans brothers need to make like a scary movie, but just about Gal Gadot.
Oh my god, please. I feel like everyone would watch it and love it. Terrible. Just terrible.
I don't know if there's a stand-up comic, and I wish I could remember his name, but you might already know about him, and he looks and sounds just like Mo. And I can't remember if like it's a chicken or egg thing. I can't remember if they based Mo off of him or if it just so happens that it was like a happy coincidence. But let me see if I can find this guy and tell you his name, and then you can look up his stuff, because he has this Mo quality to him.
I kind of feel like he was almost based off of a couple of people. Like Buddy from the New York Dolls, you know who I'm talking about? Who was he was the cab driver in the movie Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he is like a combination of him and like Al Pacino.
Yes, it originally started as a Pacino impression. I think that's what Hank Azaria said. Okay, I found the guy. Oh God, it's not saying his name because I need to friggin' get a thing. But here's a picture of the stand-up comic.
Okay, what's his name?
I'm trying to find it. It's buried in this stupid thing. I'm going to find his name somehow. But if you watch his stand-up, Rich Hall. Yes, Rich Hall.
Rich Hall. Okay.
Yeah. There's another picture of him, and he really does, like, if they ever get around.
Oh, yeah, he really does. Wow.
If that live-action Simpsons movie ever becomes a thing, they gotta call him up.
He'd be perfect. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was thinking of David something. He's from the New York Dolls, but he's the cab driver in the movie Scrooge with Bill.
Yeah, that guy is like, he almost feels like he could be like Benicio del Toro's cousin or something.
Yeah. His cousin from the Bronx.
Yeah.
And then they slowly evolve into Brad Pitt somehow. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, Night of the Dolphin, number one for me too. It's that dolphin on the jalopy flipping the coin. Any old fashioned like joke like that, I'm just like, yep, sign me up. I'm in.
What was your favorite quote from this sketch?
From Night of the Dolphins? Yeah. Oh boy, that is a good one. What was my favorite quote from this sketch? I think, oh, it was at the town hall meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was Mo, where the dolphin says something. He's like, "We're gonna take over the world," and Mo's like, "I didn't catch that. What did he say?" Said we're gonna take over the world. What?
Yeah. Yeah. That was good. I like when Willie is like, oh, he's like cleaning and it's squeaking and he turns around and the dolphin jumps through his chest. Like alien, just right through him like a fucking rocket. That was great. I love it.
Because that's what you'll get.
That's what you'll get. Yeah. And then boom, right through the window. Like he always has to die horribly in the Halloween episodes, which is just hilarious. Ironically, though, not the episode. Well, I guess he does when he's the Freddy Krueger because he burns to death in front of everyone. But yeah, he like at the end he leaves on a bus, so it's kind of funny. But I think my favorite quote from this sketch is when Homer and the family is like right after the dolphins start taking over, and they're watching the news and. What's his name? The anchor. He's talking about.
Oh yeah, intelligent Italian.
Yeah, that's the quote. Intelligent Italians. Homer's like, intelligent Italians. Something's wrong. That's my favorite quote. I fucking died when I was watching that. I was like, that's my favorite quote.
And I love how that's I think that's the right answer. I like that even more than my favorite quote. I love how as soon as he says that, the new studio is ready. They have the stock photo of Luigi.
Because the dolphins up there, goading him to not say anything. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Something's wrong.
They're not just intelligent. They're gray-skinned, bottlenose, intelligent Italians, and that's just what a picture that paints.
I just love that, like, it's like actually like the opposite of the truth, but so funny. Not for all, but yeah, in general, they're pretty smart people. But yeah, it's a funny joke.
Oh man, I'm still waiting. I am half Italian, but I'm still waiting for The Simpsons to reference Malta in any way because that's my other half.
Oh, nice.
I still don't think there's been a Maltese reference in 37 seasons. That's how much of an underdog country Malta is.
That's funny. I've been to Malta, actually. It's very close to where my dad is from and lives in Sicily.
How are we only finding out this information in episode 11?
Yeah, my dad emigrated back to Sicily after he basically like retired, I guess. Mm-hmm. And where my nonna and nonno are from, it's like a very southern area of Sicily. It, like you can almost like see Malta. It's
you're right
basically
down there.
Yeah, so it's like the boot and then Sicily, and where my dad lives is like my thumbs, like the bottom of my thumbs.
Damn, yeah. So yeah, you can totally see it on a clear day.
Malta's like here. Like my cousins would go fishing and they'd be like, oh, we'll come and take you on the boat. And then they just never came back. And we got worried and they're like, oh, sorry. We were fishing in like Tunisian waters. Look, and they had videos of dolphins swimming. They're like, we were far. I was like, we were scared. You didn't come back, I tell you. He's like, oh yeah, we're fine. Like,
or we have to help this lady give birth in Tunisian waters. Now she's got psychic powers.
Yeah, literally. But you can do like boat tours there. And like, it's volcanic, right? Because of Etna. So everything is a lot of rocks there. Mm-hmm. Really rocky beaches. And it's really nice, though. A lot of, cool historical things to see. Sicily's the same. It's a lot like Sicily in terms of like the infrastructure and like how the cities are kind of built and laid out. A lot of historical like ruins and stuff like that. A lot of like plague related stuff. Cool. Yeah. Sicily's cool, though. Like it's really hot. And yeah, where my dad's from, it's very southern. It's the closest big city is like it's called Ragusa, and where my dad, it's right on the water. So, like where my dad lives is close. It's called like Marina di Ragusa. So it's the marina in Ragusa. So yeah, it's cool. We used to go every summer to Italy. Like my grandparents moved back when I was a kid. We would go for like basically like a month because it was so remote. Like it's not going to Rome. Like you have to fly to Italy or like fly to Italy and then fly to Sicily. We a couple times like we flew to Rome and we've taken the train to Sicily, which is crazy because like the train gets on like a boat and then crosses the water. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no bridge there that's
Yeah.
gonna span that. Wow,
That was-
that's so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that was a crazy trip. So it's like took the train from Rome and then the boat or the train got on a boat. So you're in a train on a boat. You're crossing like the Mediterranean. And you're going like, okay, cool. On a train in a boat surrounded by vehicles. Like it was crazy. It was a fun trip though. But yeah. Seeing like the coast of Italy, like because that's where the train is. Like, oh, it's crazy. We did it at night and we had like one way we did it at night, the second way we did it like during the day, but seeing it at night was crazy. Like I didn't sleep at all. I just looked at the window.
Neither would I. That would be.
Yeah.
I got to go to Malta one day. Like I still have never been, and
Gotta go.
so much like ancient stuff there, which is what I love. That's what I want to see when I travel. Like you could not pay me enough to get me on a beach. Fuck that. Like I want to go.
Anyway,
No.
bloody hot. You
Exactly.
get a
Yeah.
siesta.
No, I want to see old temples and catacombs, and Malta has those in spades. They've got old churches, lots of tombs. So I have to go see that at least once before I die. And it's so small there that I could see the whole island within a fair amount of time. And they have a really like decent film industry in Malta too, because they film a lot of stuff over there. So I can make a name for myself filmmaking if I wanted to. So that would be fun.
You should definitely do it. I'd recommend it. And let me know when we'll bye. Hey, there you go.
Oh no, your audio cut out.
Oh shoot. I was saying let me know if you go and we'll meet you there and we can you can come visit us in Sicily.
Hey, perfect.
Yeah, it's like a 40-minute boat ride.
That's perfect, because that Sicily's one of the parts of Italy I still haven't seen yet. So perfect.
So cool.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really neat. I love that it was featured in White Lotus, but I kind of hate that it was too. Like you're ruining it. It was great.
You're ruining it.
But no, good for tourism.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk books.
Oh, do you want to go first?
Okay. I came up with mine last minute, but it is something that I just read for the first time for school. Very popular book that I'm only just getting around to, but it is about a ghost. It's just not a comedic ghost story at all. It's a very, very tragic ghost story. It is Beloved by Toni Morrison.
Yes.
This book was totally off my radar. I did not know about it. And then in university, which I'm attending right now, they got us to read it for intertextualities class. And I was like, this is one of the best books ever made. Holy cow. It's so good. And it's a classic ghost / haunted house story, but it's told through the lens of post-Civil War, through the eyes of freed enslaved people and just what that culture was like, because that's such an untold story. There was a whole culture around, if you were a Black person after the Civil War and you were freed, and that lifestyle afterwards is not something they ever really show you all that much in pop culture. So it was great to see that. And then on top of that, you have this really interesting ghost story with its own unique twist. And it is literally one of the best novels ever written. So you should read Beloved, period. Don't just listen to some bald guy on a podcast telling you to go read it.
No, it's a really great book. And the way that it kind of ties together like trauma and haunting, because that's essentially what trauma is. It's like you're being haunted by your experience, right? So to kind of parallel it with ghosts and paranormal, like it makes sense. That's why a lot of movies, the allegory is the person is suffering from PTSD in some way, or is trauma, like the Babadook, like post-trauma, like that's like what's it called? When people have babies and they get sad, the postpartum depression. Sorry, that escaped me for a moment. But yeah, that's like it's essentially like the metaphor for all of that, right? So no, it's a great book. I'm glad that you actually were talking about that. I was talking about that book with someone recently because they were like, why is that in the horror section in the movies? Like, because there's a film adaptation, and I'm like, because it's about ghosts. And they're like, oh, I didn't even realize it. And it's like, no, watch it or rewatch it. Like, what movie did you watch? Like, watch it again. But the book, yeah, it's really, really, really well written. Toni Morrison is an amazing writer. Like, and not a lot of people are familiar, like they are and they aren't familiar with her because of Beloved, but her other books are really slept on. Like, as much as I like Beloved, like The Bluest Eye is really good. That one is probably my favorite. It's from the 70s. It's about a black girl who really wants blue eyes, and like she just she can't fit into the beauty standards that are, so it's a very like feminine book, but it's super devastating. And like, again, like she writes so beautifully. It's like Mary Shelley, like her writing. It's so, what she's talking about is like horrific or awful, but it's written in such a way that you're like, wow, like it's so fluid and elegant and like poetic.
It's like a Renaissance painting of an atrocity.
100%. Like the way that they're able to like juxtapose those two things she does it so well. Mary Shelley did it very well, and I think it's like why Frankenstein's like one of my favorite books. I'm wearing a Lady Frankenstein shirt today. While I put it in my Christmas tree. Like,
sending a lot of mixed signals to your tree there.
Yeah. But no, like she's a great author, so I'm glad that you raised it. And there's not a lot of, I feel like, exposure to as many like Black African American like authors. And this book is like, Beloved is a really good example of like them within the horror, like a scary or horror sci-fi thriller genre, because the rest of her books are also as devastating and deep and well written, but she really explores society in a lot of it, and like holding up a mirror, and it's like, hey guys, check it out. You thought of this, like you said, like, yeah, they were freed from slavery, but like, how did they live in between that period and like civil rights movement?
Right, exactly. It's such an unexplored period in Black culture, and it's like, oh my God, I've never even thought about this period because it's never been presented to me until I read this, and then some of this, like just the community that they built with each other afterwards. I'm like, damn, this is beautiful. So yeah, Beloved, go read it, everybody.
Go check it out.
Yeah. What do you got?
I had like a couple books that I wanted to talk about, but I think I have the one. I think I've decided.
Okay.
So it's called The Pallbearers Club, which is kind of cool. I've mentioned this author before, Paul Tremblay. He wrote, what was the other book? I forget now that I mentioned, because I've read a few of his horror story, maybe. Yes, but this book is really great. His books are cool because he's really good at like combining themes and making a story less boring. Yes, Head Full of Ghosts was the other book of his that I mentioned, because it's a great book, one of my favorites. But this book is very different. That book is about like possession and haunting and like being a girl and, memory and how it's subjective. So this book, The Pallbearers Club, it's about a guy. His name is Art Barbara. He's like a very awkward, like young adult. And he finds out that there is what's called the Pallbearers Club. And it's basically a collection of people who volunteer to attend funerals for people who have like no loved ones. Oh. So it's like it's kind of nice. So he likes to volunteer, and he attends a funeral, and he feels bad for like people who are basically like unmourned. So he meets other people within this club, and one of them is a girl who's kind of around his age, and he really develops a relationship with her. But this girl that he's befriended, she's super mysterious and like effortlessly cool. She's very quirky, and like she talks a lot about folklore, and the town that they live in, there's a lot of like folklore, specifically around like vampires. So he starts to think that she is potentially the vampire from the folklore, like from the myth of their town. And he thinks that she may be killing some of these people who are unmourned because she's looking for victims who like have no family.
Whoa.
So the book is cool and how he like integrates and changes the media, because in Head Full of Ghosts, the book is about the story and the family, and then it has a layer of like, oh, the family signed up for a reality TV show. And they talk about the footage and how the show and all of that. So it's kind of cool. But in this one, Art writes a book. And in the book, Mercy writes her notes. So it's basically like he writes a book, and it's all explaining like specific things and interactions he's had with her in the story of the Pallbearers Club, and how he has like suspicions about her. And it's her comments basically like, yeah, well, what do you think? Why would I do that? Like, did I really, that really happen? And kind of messing with him.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So it's a cool book. This would be like writing about someone and then them reading it and then taking note and be like, oh, actually. So it's like all her notes in the margin in red pen. I don't know if you guys see it. And like just scratch stuff out and be like, that didn't happen. And then she has full like sections where it's like, it's really good. So her name is Mercy. That's the name, or the Mercy is the name of the vampire. It's like an actual folklore. So he used actual mythology from like New England in the US. Now there was like a vampire, and they suspect because she didn't, like they kept seeing her and stuff like that. So that's who he basically thinks she is, this myth, this folklore character. It's a cool book.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah, it's a really cool book. A lot like I'm Not a Serial Killer. It reminds me of that book. But on the flip side, because he's like a very quiet, like, oh, I wouldn't hurt a fly type of guy. And then I'm Not a Serial Killer, the kid's like Dexter, but he's trying to figure something out.
Right.
Just the added element of like the review from the person you're writing about is super interesting.
Yeah. Mercy's notes. Oh, that's so okay. Every time you bust one out, I'm like, okay, here we go. There's something else I have to put on my list. I love this.
Yeah, great.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us for Treehouse of Horror 11 here on Tales from the Treehouse. We are creeping up there we're pretty much, we've dived into modern Simpsons now, I think. I mean, we've finished the third of these episode guides, and there's only one more after that they ended up making. So we're into like the modern Simpsons era as it begins. And I believe now, that was season 12. So next time we'll be touching on season 13, which is when they made the switch from hand-drawn to HD, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, that's a big turning point for a lot of people. That's like, okay, now you're into old Simpsons is gone. This is new Simpsons. Whether you like that or not. And so that's going to be interesting to see the shift. And like we said, it's going to be the post 9/11 Simpsons world. So there's a lot there. I'm really curious to take a bite out of those now. All right. Well, that'll do it for Tales from the Treehouse. Oh, I don't have my copy here, but please be sure to go buy Gindependence. I'll put a link in the description below. It's on Amazon. It's still hard to find if you search the book title, but just search my name on Amazon, Andrew Fantasia. I promise it'll come up. So until next time, everybody, please don't blame us.
We voted for Kodos.
And Snarky.
And Snarky. Or is it Snorky? I couldn't tell.
Well, maybe it's Snorky. That makes more sense because it's like a snorkel.
Yes. Okay. There, nailed it. All right.